Is this the scene where Donut Boy sings the Donut Boy theme song?
No, this is the scene where you get lost!
Get Lost is a new card from the upcoming set Lost Caverns of Ixalan. For 1 and a white, it's an instant that says destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker, then its controller creates 2 map tokens. This card's gained a lot of comparison to Fateful Absence, which is a card from Innistrad Midnight Hunt. For 1 and a white, it's an instant that says destroy target creature or planeswalker, its controller investigates. And I think it's worth comparing these cards because they're very similar. So we need to ask the question, which is better? Now, I think this is mostly going to be a question for standard players. For commander players, I think most of the time you're just going to have better options. Even if those other options are less efficient sometimes, they will be more flexible, or you just do have more efficient options. That's not to say that you would never want to play either of these cards in commander, but I think it is going to be more of a question for standard players. I think it's also interesting that these cards were never supposed to be legal in standard at the same time. I think Get Lost was supposed to be a similar replacement to Fateful Absence because this fall we were supposed to be getting standard rotation, meaning Fateful Absence would leave standard, but they just changed the rules for standard rotation, so now we're gonna have 3 years instead of 2, meaning we now have a year where they will both be legal in standard. So now we need to ask the question, which is better? In a vacuum, Get Lost is better because it also has the flexibility to hit enchantments, which there are plenty of problematic enchantments running around. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to which of these tokens you feel more okay with giving your opponent. Would you rather give them a clue token or 2 map tokens? A clue token means you can sacrifice it by paying 2 mana to draw a card. And a map token lets you pay 1, tap it, and a target creature you control explores. You can activate it only as a sorcery. So once you choose that creature, you reveal the top card of your library and put the card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on the chosen creature, and then you can choose to put the card back on top of your library or put it into your graveyard. I guess the downside with the map tokens means you do have to have a creature on board in order to target it, in order to do the explore, but especially in fast-paced formats like standard, you're usually going to have at least a target, or you're at least going to be able to get one down pretty quick if you're recovering from a board wipe, though the most popular board wipe in the format is Farewell, and Farewell will also get rid of those tokens, so you have to keep that in mind as well. If I had to choose though, I think I would play Get Lost over Fateful Absence. I like having the flexibility to hit enchantments, and these map tokens, while I think are pretty good value, are pretty slow, and rather my opponent be in a position where they're not sure if they're going to get to draw a card, which will be a land, or they get to slightly buff a creature, I think that is probably the better and safer option than just straight up letting my opponent draw a card from a clue token. But let me know in the comments, which do you think is better? And if you like this video, check out a similar video I made a couple months ago where I was comparing Generous Gift to Stroke of Midnight, and also make sure you check out our last video. And if you like Magic the Gathering content, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos as well. See you later.